Chapter 1 of The Gentle Grafter. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Leslie Walden. The Gentle Grafter by O. Henry. Chapter 1. The Octopus Marooned. "A trust is its weakest point," said Jeff Peters. "That," I said, "sounds like one of those unintelligible remarks such as, 'Why is a policeman?'" "It is not," said Jeff. "There are no relations between a trust and a policeman. My remark was an epigram, an axis, a kind of mulctum in parvo. What it means is that a trust is like an egg, and it is not like an egg. If you want to break an egg, you have to do it from the outside. The only way to break up a trust is from the inside. Keep sitting on it until it hatches. Look at the brood of young colleges and libraries that's chirping and peeping all over the country. Yes, sir, every trust bears in its own bosom the seeds of its destruction, like a rooster that crows near a Georgia-colored Methodist camp meeting, or a Republican announcing himself a candidate for governor of Texas." I asked Jeff jestingly if he had ever, during his checkered, plaided, mottled, pied, and dappled career, conducted an enterprise of the class to which the word trust had been applied. Somewhat to my surprise, he acknowledged the corner. "Once," said he, "and the state seal of New Jersey never bit into a charter that opened up a solider and safer place of legitimate octopussing. We had everything in our favor: wind, water, police, nerve, and a clean monopoly of an article indispensable to the public. There wasn't a trust buster on the globe that could have found a weak spot in our scheme. It made Rockefeller's little kerosene speculation look like a bucket shop. But we lost out." "Some unforeseen opposition came up, I suppose?" I said. "No, sir. It was just as I said. We were self-curbed. It was a case of auto-suppression. There was a rift within the lute, as Albert Tennyson says. You remember I told you that me and Andy Tucker was partners for some years? That man was the most talented conniver at stratagems I ever saw. Whenever he saw a dollar in another man's hands, he took it as a personal grudge if he couldn't take it any other way. Andy was educated, too, besides having a lot of useful information. He had acquired a big amount of experience out of books, and could talk for hours on any subject connected with ideas and discourse. He had been in every line of graft, from lecturing on Palestine with a lot of magic lantern pictures of the annual Custom-Made Clothiers Association convention at Atlantic City, to flooding Connecticut with bogus wood alcohol distilled from nutmegs. One spring me and Andy had been over in Mexico on a flying trip, during which a Philadelphia capitalist had paid us $2,500 for a half interest in a silver mine in Chihuahua. Oh, yes, the mine was all right. The other half interest must have been worth $2,000 or $3,000. I often wondered who owned that mine. In coming back to the United States, me and Andy stubbed our toes against a little town in Texas on the bank of the Rio Grande. The name of it was Bird City, but it wasn't. The town had about 2,000 inhabitants, mostly men. I figured that their principal means of existence was in living close to tall chaparral. Most of 'em were stockmen, and some gamblers, and some horse speculators, and plenty were in the smuggling line. Me and Andy put up in a hotel that was built like something between a roof garden and a sectional bookcase. It began to rain the day we got there. As the saying is, Juniper Aquarius was sure turning on the water plugs on Mount Amphibious. Now, there were 3 saloons in Bird City, though neither Andy nor me drank. But we could see the townspeople making a triangular procession from one to another all day and half the night. Everybody seemed to know what to do with as much money as they had. The 3rd day of the rain it slacked up a while in the afternoon, so me and Andy walked out to the edge of town to view the mudscape. Bird City was built between the Rio Grande and a deep, wide arroyo that used to be the old bed of the river. The bank between
Sample complete. Ready to continue?